One of the easiest ways to make gardening a little easier is having good walkways between your rows. Today, I'm creating simple garden paths using cardboard and my leftover mushroom compost that'll suppress weeds now and turn into soil for next year. Walkways may seem like a small detail, but they make a huge difference in a productive garden. Good paths allow easy access to plants, reduce soil compaction in growing beds, and help control weeds. Instead of landscape fabric or gravel, I'm using cardboard and compost so that the pathways actually improve the soil over time. I purchased this large roll of cardboard and decided to cut it into 2-foot wide strips for the walkways. 2 feet gives me enough room to walk comfortably between the rows without taking up too much growing space. Each piece is then cut to 25 feet long so that it fits the length of the garden rows. Using a box knife to cut through the first layer also leaves a mark underneath so the next layer can be cut without me having to measure again. This technique is called sheet mulching. Cardboard blocks sunlight from reaching the weed seeds, which prevents them from growing. As the cardboard slowly breaks down, it adds organic carbon to the soil and feeds earthworms and beneficial microbes. After laying the cardboard, I cover it with mushroom compost. This keeps the cardboard from blowing away, creates a solid walking surface, and adds nutrients to the soil as it decomposes. Research has shown organic mulches, like compost over cardboard, can reduce weed growth dramatically and improve soil moisture retention. I'm adding compost to the end of this row of cardboard to keep it from blowing away while I finish the path. Of course, the garden isn't the only place getting attention. Something, probably an armadillo or a possum, has been digging around here. I'm redefining the garden rows by pulling soil from the pathway onto the bed. Keeping the pathways slightly lower on the edges allows rainwater to drain towards the plant where it's needed instead of pulling up in the walkway. I'm also transplanting my asparagus from my old garden. I'll create a round mound in the hole, which allows me to spread the roots evenly before covering them with soil. Next up is my Bodacious sweet corn. This is the same corn I planted last year in my garden in town. The corn should be planted about 12 inches apart. My hand shovel is almost exactly 12 inches long, so I'm using it as a measuring guide. Using the handle of my rake to poke the holes will help keep the seeds at about the same depth. I'm leaving the holes open for now so I can water and the water can soak the seeds a little before settling them. Once watered, I'll cover them and finish the row. Each raised row will have 3 lines of corn planted across it, giving us several full rows of sweet corn. Since the third row didn't quite reach the end of the bed, I'm digging a small trench to mark where the corn stops, so I can plant something else in the remaining space. By using cardboard and compost for the pathways, it'll suppress the weeds this season and build better soil for next year's garden. Sometimes the simplest methods turn out to be the most productive. Thanks for spending time here with us on the Double N Farm.